Well, it's my pleasure to welcome Sheri Johnson of Noveske Rifle Works, the general manager. Sheri, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you so much for making this happen and doing it all through an iPad. It's a first for me.
It was quite the work too, but we did it.
It's amazing what you can do nowadays, huh?
No kidding. I can't even imagine days before the cell phone existed.
So, let's let viewers get to know you a little bit better. Where did you grow up? When were you first introduced to firearms?
So I'm actually an Oregon native. I was born in Portland, Oregon, and shortly thereafter we moved down to Medford. My dad was a preacher, and my mom was like preacher, farmer's wife type, so I had quite a strict growing up. And we were always into marksmanship, shooting, Second Amendment, and I think I got my first gun when I was 10.
Nice.
And kind of embarrassing, but it was just an airsoft gun. But he gave me a couple of years to practice with that before he finally gave me like my own 22 and also a shotgun. But he told me to never let leave my side, especially when I was home alone. So my dad was a good guy.
Very cool. Brothers, sisters?
I have two younger sisters. One of them actually used to work here, Sammy Costello. A lot of our customers and followers will know that name. Sweet girl.
Wow, very cool. So start off with airsoft. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Come on.
Well, it was good. It was good because at the age of 10, I can't say that your brains are working like they're supposed to. So I got all my stupid out with that, and I'm sure I have a few. I don't know the right way to put it, but disciplinary action there when I stepped out of line with that, and it never happened again with a real gun ever, for sure, and it never
Shot
will.
the cat, shot the neighbor's kid. Come on, where's the dirt?
I shot at the cat a few times. We had a cattle farm, so of course it was farthest cow you can hit. It's not a good idea when you get caught.
So you grew up a farm girl.
I did.
Nice, very
I
cool.
don't know. Yeah, waking up at between 4 and 6 every day to go feed the cows in your pajamas, put your mud boots on, hike your butt out there, keep your mom happy.
So at what point did it evolve into real guns, and at what point did you start working at Noveske?
So I actually started working at Noveske just about 10 years ago. I was actually working in a local coffee shop here in Grants Pass, and John's father-in-law and I became friends. He would always come into the stand every morning to get coffee, and we'd write back and forth these really silly political cartoons. We'd clip out politicians or whatnot out of the local newspaper and then add in our own quotes and then mail them back and forth to each other. So that's
awesome.
how I know. And then when John started his business, his father-in-law said, he's going to need someone like you, Woody, to really maybe, help run the business. At the time I was in college for business management. So anything to get out of the coffee stand, of course, I want an interview. What does he do? He was a little apprehensive to tell me at first, but sure as shit, like the next day at 6 in the morning, I get a call from Mr. Noveske. 6 in the morning on Saturday, I'm still sleeping, and he says, Mrs. Costello, at the time, I hear you're looking for a job. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I'd be interested in having an interview. So he's all right, well, meet me at Dutch Bros in an hour. And he hangs up the phone. So I didn't know if I should go or not, but I get up, I get on this really nice business suit, I grab my resume, I head down to this coffee shop at which he specified, and I'm in line to get a cup of coffee, and I noticed this guy in the corner of the coffee shop in camo pants and a black sweatshirt. He had just this really, really big beard and sunglasses, and here I'm thinking, is this guy a bum, or is he gonna rob the place? And he walks up to me and I'm freaking out. And he's like, are you Mrs. Costello? Yeah. He's like, I'll buy your coffee. I'm John. And I'm thinking, oh no, like what did I get myself into? God, he was such a character. The interview was the best part. He only asked me 3 questions. He said, Sheri, do you like guns? I said, well, yeah, I've grown up shooting like a lot of my life. I don't have a problem with it. And he's like, well, you know, guns can kill people, right? And I said, yeah. And he's like, well, are you okay with that? It's like, well, you know, under the right circumstances, of course, like self-defense or military, whatever. I'm not advocating, you know, a tyrant with a rifle, but of course, like I understand that completely. He's like, okay, well, that's good enough for me. You can get started like right now. And we did, and then that was that, and we've ever since, like, this Noveske's just become this amazing company. He's a cool guy.
Well, very cool. So what were, I guess you probably wore a lot of hats early on, but what was it like early on in the first years?
The early years were a lot of fun. A lot of fun now, but back then it was a very unique experience. We when I first started there, he was working out of his garage, and he and his wife Lorena had just started running this thing together on their own, and there was another gentleman there helping run another piece of equipment, but it was just he, the other gentleman, and myself. And I had a desk next to the bathroom, next to the air compressor. And every time the phone would ring, I would have to put the customer on hold and put my earphones on, wait for the compressor to turn back off, and then pick up where we left off. So it was super, super unique experience. It was fun.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
The Noveske name and standards for excellence spread, and eventually you grew, well, to where you are today. But, you know, tell me about that process a little bit.
So as far as the quality and everything, John, from the very beginning, was always a perfectionist. I mean, he would spend hours contouring one barrel just so that it was absolutely perfect. If there was anything not right at all, he would start over. And back then, everything was by hand. Everything from cutting, contouring, threading, chambering. He did one barrel at a time. So, I mean, when we'd get out 5 pieces in a day, it was like celebration. Like, it was pretty amazing. And as we started getting out there, there's a lot of people that started promoting his name and just the quality of his stuff. And then we started getting more calls and more customers, and we slowly added 1 or 2 people every few months. I swear we've doubled about every year since he got started. But after about 4, 5, 6 people in the garage, it was time to move. We found a really cool location and just kept growing from there. But the processes still have not changed. In fact, they improve. They improve every year, from new like quality assurance inspectors, just everything. Nothing's really changed since then, just only improved.
And added more and more machinery. There is a great tour of your place that Mil Spec Monkey did a while back. Actually, you start off the tour.
With my wall of awesomeness.
Your wall of awesomeness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
that was when we were a lot smaller.
Okay.
That was when we were all still in one building, and we had everything. We had shipping, assembly, everything, manufacturing, all in one facility. And since that video, we now produce out of a few facilities in town. We kept the original location for like a warehouse and shipping, and then since then, sort of have invested in quite a few more machines and have a whole nother facility separate of this one where we actually do most of everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think you released a video just a few weeks back that showed some of your processes, and it showed stacks and stacks of barrels, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, Noveske.com. You can view that new video. We're getting ready to launch a new website, so that's kind of like a preview of what's to come. We really tried to step it up this year. I mean, especially with John's passing and everything, we don't want people to lose faith in everything we have going on, because, I mean, all the same people are here. We do everything just as John would have wanted if we failed, he would have kicked our ass for sure. But yeah, we're just really trying to step it up for our friends and our followers.
So let's talk about the transition a little bit after John's passing. What took place to keep things operational and to continue on? Did you add any additional team members, or how did that work?
We did have a gentleman offer his help after John passed. It was a little crazy. I mean, people were worried. It was definitely a shakeup. The phones were going crazy. Missed connections. Just it's taken a lot to get our feet back underneath us. But Mr. Sterling Becklin, who is currently president of ECS Cases, also in town, has years and years of manufacturing and business experience. I mean, he's been doing it since he was a kid. So he's actually been here as a mentor and additional leader and has really helped us maintain what we have currently going. It's very much appreciated.
And I guess, Sheri, you yourself took on some additional management roles. Let me get that out. And you also added some additional managers under yourself to keep things running smoothly. And
Yeah.
and you're expanding, so just
Ever
naturally you're going to need to be adding people. It sounds like.
Yeah, and we didn't really add a bunch of people so much as promoted those that deserved it. We did get a new engineer, and we do have a few more people in the actual manufacturing facility just to help out. But yeah, I mean, there's another girl here, Megan Meadart, who was actually one of our sales associates. And when I took on general manager, I moved her into office management, where she actually controls the flow of our shipping and makes sure that all the invoicing and the money goes smooth. And then Mike Burgess, we promoted from the other shop as the new production manager. Really smart guy over there that maintains all the equipment, keeps the flow over there, production scheduling, etc. So a few minor changes, but it's been going really well.
Well, let's talk about John's vision and kind of how he set up these different roles early on. It seemed like he had really good visionary leadership, where he knew from the get-go that he needed the right people in the company and needed the right people in the right places in the company.
Yeah, the interview process here is really intense. He would only hire the best of the best and give them like a 3-month trial period. If you couldn't hold your weight, we could move on, which sounded kind of mean, but he would not take anything less than exceptional employees for sure. People that really invested themselves in the business. They didn't just show up as an employee. They showed up to help the company grow, personal accountability. So, and that's how it is still, really.
And we were talking a little bit before we started recording about how your company culture, it's really more like a family. And that's really, I guess, really, you guys really came together during this hard time, and that made all the difference.
We've always been super, super family based. For those that follow our Facebook, we're a little unconventional sometimes, a little silly, a little goofy. We're a very young company. A lot of the people here are in their 30s or younger, so very, very much a younger crowd. But we have beer every Friday together, buy the crew lunch. There's a pub right down the road that we hang out after work a few nights a week. We're all sitting around the table having a beer, and being such a crowd of younger people, like all we want to do is just get our equipment into the hands of the operators, and we want to know that our stuff is the shit, top notch, and that when they're out there putting their life on the line, that their stuff is going to work because they're holding a Noveske, and that that they're safe. And we will nerd out for hours after work, hours, just thinking of ways to improve the AR platform. What little accessory could make your life easier? Like if you put this here and move that there, like how would it make it that much cooler, until we're literally, we can't walk anymore and have to call a taxi, which is pretty funny. But we are just a young group of innovative people that just loves guns. And I really, really try to make people feel special when they work here, that they are part of a really big family, part of something amazing, and the people want to be here. Like I rarely have had people leave this company because once you're here, it's like you're home. It's such a phenomenal place, and I plan on keeping it that way for sure.
Now, you realize people watching this video are going to be shooting resumes in, so you're going to probably be covered up.
Bring it, love it.
So, yeah, very cool. I love finding out about company cultures. It's very cool that you guys hang out and everything afterwards on Fridays. And cool. Do you guys do anything else unique as far as culture goes?
We do quite a few challenges throughout the year. Like we have one going on right now, which is every year during hunting season, we think of some sort of challenge. This year it's I Pity the Buck challenge.
So,
and
wait, what?
Based off of Mr. T, I Pity the Fool, we did I Pity the Buck. And the rules of the game are that John's wife, Lorraine, actually had these bright purple sweatshirts printed up with Mr. T and a buck, sort of like one of those old boxing posters.
Yeah, right.
Put that on the front of the sweatshirt. So every Monday you have to have your bright purple sweatshirt. You have to wear it to work all day and around town. And then we got them gold chains that they have to wear every day here or outside the facility. And if you get caught, you get kicked out of the game unless you agree to some bizarre stipulation to like reinstate yourself. So we do stuff like that quite often. Just fun stuff to keep the crew motivated.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about Noveske's standards for excellence. The standards that John launched this company on. It seems like you guys have ultra high standards for you already said he had ultra high standards for hiring, but also that's reflected in pretty much equipment, everything you manufacture. So what kinds of I guess processes do you have in place to ensure that?
We have pretty intense QC processes set up throughout the entire facility. Most everything is checked 3, 4, sometimes 5 times before it ever even leaves our manufacturing shop. Once material or pieces come in, they immediately go to the prospective QC departments. Raw materials inspected prior to ever cutting. All the parts go through, and we hand inspect every part, honestly. Every upper, every bolt carrier, every lower that we make, every handguard, we look for not only perfect specs, perfect prints, but also cosmetic quality. I don't know if you're familiar with our chainsaw line.
I was going to bring that up. I love that terminology that you placed on your, I guess, seconds, or is that what they are?
I hate calling them seconds because they're perfectly good, usable parts. But with our first line, I guess if we're referring to is that we are trying to get out absolute pristine quality equipment in every way. In every way. I mean, not only do we want this to look good and you're safe, but flawless performance, especially to those that need it most.
So the chainsaw products are ones that have flawless performance, but they don't necessarily look their best.
Exactly.
Is that right?
So,
so they'd be a good workhorse. That's why I love the chainsaw. Because chainsaws aren't pretty, or if they are, you put them to work and they're not pretty, but they're functional, they're tough, and so that kind of goes. At least that's how I saw it.
Yeah, even our cosmetic stuff is really an industry first. I mean, with forgings, you're like smashing steel together, and almost always there's some type of small blem or imperfection. Of course, the whole process just sort of, you assume that. So even if there's like the tiniest pinhole or speck on any of our stuff, whether or not it's perfectly functional, it'll be deemed a chainsaw. So we sort of made that obvious to the community that they're perfectly usable pieces, and there's no point in scrapping, a perfect piece as long as you're going to throw it down in the dirt anyways. Save a little money while you do it.
Well, exactly. It seems like that might be a good option for three gun competitors that really put their stuff through the works. And let's talk about the Noveske team.
And it all started when Jansen Jones actually called up John. I think we were actually just moving out of the garage at that time, and gave him this proposition of starting a shooting team. We had no idea who he was. He wasn't well known in the industry or anything yet, but John just had a lot of faith in him and trusted him to represent us. And since then, Rob Romero has joined the team and James Casanova, and they are a phenomenal group of guys. Not only are they some of the best in the nation, but they are such professionals and so reputable and willing to help, and they're just overall great guys. And I'm really glad that they're still a part of us for sure.
And do they have like their own Facebook page where you can follow their events and stuff?
Yeah, if you actually search Noveske Shooting Team, I think they actually have like 2 different ones that they follow. And not only do they link to ours, but they put a lot of video of the shoots that they go to, DVD previews, pictures of the equipment, how they're doing. They update it almost daily, I think.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I pulled it up. Well, so it really seems like nothing has really slowed down, overall after John's unfortunate passing. But it seems like, kind of like we talked about, you guys have really come together as a close-knit family, as a team, and it's really cool to see John's visionary leadership continue on through all you guys.
Yeah, he always was very prepared for the worst, no matter what that may be. I mean, nobody expected John's passing, but he was always a very prepared person, and he had slowly been weaning himself off the business, just a little, to sort of help us all to take over. I think he was interested in travel. He loved boating. Wanted to take his wife to experience more in the world. So it's really weird, but it was. I can't say the timing was right because there was no right time for that for sure, but we're doing good.
Yeah, it's kind of common in great leaders. You see that they build a great company, but as they're building their company, they make it run without them. They make it run so that
that's exactly what his goal was.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was trying to say, and we've pretty much been running the operation for a few months, without him being here day to day, checking on everything. But since his passing, we've definitely doubled or tripled our QC capacity, and are trying to come out with, new stuff for our fans and our followers, just so that people are reassured that we're not going anywhere, that everything's fine, and all the same processes are still in place, if not improved upon tenfold for sure.
right. And you're gearing up to launch the new website, Noveske.com. Is that where it's going to reside? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very
and
cool.
then eventually, Noveske Rifle Works will just direct you over to Noveske.com. Right. But yeah, we have a new site launching. Oh, man, I think in like a week. Pretty exciting. We just finished the photo shoot. We got a new line of apparel coming out, some new guns for 2014, new accessories. So a lot of cool stuff coming out. I'm pretty excited. John would be super proud. This is the stuff he loved.
Yeah, for sure. And can we talk new products? I was kind of browsing around the website, and I looked at new products, and I was surprised to see that you guys do Glock base pads.
Yeah.
So did that come about through the 3-gun team?
Yeah, the shooting team actually has thought of quite a few really cool accessories to help improve the 3-gun game, and they actually teamed up with Taryn Butler of Taryn Tactical Innovations, and they together did that base plate, and we offered on our website with the Noveske insignia.
Very cool. It looks awesome. So, Can you leak anything that's maybe on the horizon here? That
Maybe one that
maybe
I'm pretty
one.
excited about. One that people have been asking us about for a really long time, which is going to be the KX5. It's basically like a slimmed down version of our KX3. And the KX3 is not going to be going anywhere. But with this, you'll be able to actually fit it underneath a Noveske rail, where
Nice.
before there was just slightly too large in diameter to make that happen. But it'll be really nice, especially when you want to change your rail or, update your weapon. You're not going to have to disassemble the whole thing because of the pig. It's a little bit lighter, but the same effectiveness. So I think people are totally going to dig it. I'm excited.
Sweet. Awesome. Do you have a availability date for that yet?
Yeah, as soon as the website launches, a lot of the product is just going to be like on preview until 2014, but we're actually running these currently and we'll try to have them available probably sometime in November.
Wow, very cool. So, you will be at SHOT Show 2014?
We'll be at SHOT Show this year. We missed 2013 for obvious reasons, but we're definitely going to be there this year. We usually don't have a booth. We sort of schedule appointments and do the business that we need to do, but we'll be walking around. So we'll be saying hi to people.
Now, some people would like to know what's up with the boob video.
uh, well, that video just included all of John's favorite things. John had quite the sense of humor. The most spectacular personality, honestly. Like, he would just come to the office when everybody's all buckled down and serious. He'd pick up one of the girls' yoga balls and just start throwing it at people, bounce it around, just do anything to make you laugh, make you smile. And he was like the man's man, for sure. From the beard to the beautiful company that he surrounded himself with, that just was just a sign off to him. And a lot of people don't get it, but it was for John, so there you
Well, very cool. I had to ask.
go. We did our best with the black bar, but I think it missed a few spots.
Hey, it's still on YouTube, so it must be good enough, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, very cool. Sheri, thank you so much for coming on the program and sharing so much about Noveske, about John's legacy, and about the future. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the interview.